and I got to get the whole name right. Mile High Hockey Lab.
The city of Denver, the state of Colorado, you guys have been fucking amazing for the last 10 years.
Let me start off with a Twitch feed this morning, and I got to get the whole name right. Mile High Hockey Lab.
The city of Denver, the state of Colorado, you guys have been fucking amazing for the last 10 years.
Let me start off with a Twitch feed this morning, and I got to get the whole name right. Mile High Hockey Lab.
The city of Denver, the state of Colorado, you guys have been fucking amazing for the last 10 years.
Let me start off with a Twitch feed this morning, and I got to get the whole name right. Mile High Hockey Lab.
The city of Denver, the state of Colorado, you guys have been fucking amazing for the last 10 years.
Live from Spectrum Community Services Studios in Colorado, USA. This is the Mile High Hockey Lab.
Hello and welcome to the Mile High Hockey Lab. My name is Adrian Hernandez. I am here today so far with Ezra Parter and Brendan Vogt. I believe we will be joined as well by Jackie K. I was a little late on sending out the stream link, so here we all are, slightly disheveled. But thank you folks very much for tuning in to this 119th edition of the Mile High Hockey Lab, indubitably titled Scary Good, because right now the Avalanche are indeed looking scary good. So that's going to be the topic of discussion today, along with, of course, you've seen the news of Gavin Brindley's 2-year extension. We will look ahead at tonight's game, which is shaping up to be the most random clash of titans, in the sense of the Anaheim Ducks are a league-leading team in many regards right now. So we'll get into that game tonight, and we will talk a little bit of what was that, Brendan?
Quack, quack, quack.
Quack, quack, quack. That's right. Ducks fly together. But yeah, we'll talk about that, and we'll get a little bit into last week's action as well. And we will see, I believe, Jackie, who's still yet to join the program, which is my fault. But she has a topic of discussion. Oh, there she is right there. Look at that. She has a topic of discussion that we will get into later on as well. So plenty to talk about. Jackie, thank you for joining us. Sorry for my late link endeavor there, but you made it. Appreciate it. And look, Vaguely Stats already lighting up the comments, says, give me all the dings. Oh, don't you worry, Vaguely. We're going to get there. We are going to get there. And then we got Laura said, only slightly disheveled. That might be the title of the episode after we publish, is slightly disheveled. But let's get right into the hockey. We got lots to talk about today. It's honestly one of my favorite days in a long time in terms of having a show and having a lot to talk about. Jackie, I want to start with you because there's been a lot of discussion on this show about the youth movement, and we talked last week about the Edmonton Oilers and kind of, you know, the matchups ahead with them playing the Avalanche playing Edmonton and Vancouver. And then we got some awesome contributions from some unlikely people, maybe not so unlikely now. But tell me, what are your thoughts of that offensive explosion, so to speak, with the Avs dominating the Oilers 9-1? Was that more about the Avalanche being really good or more about Edmonton being really bad?
Probably some of both. I mean, Edmonton's goaltending was just atrocious. And obviously, like we talked about before, putting the puck in the net is also worth something. So you have to be
Mhm.
able to take advantage of your opportunities. But that was some really, really sad goaltending. And
Yeah.
I've never thought much about Calvin Pickard. I mean, he was okay as like a backup slash third, but I thought it was insane they got to the cup finals with him. So
Yeah.
I think everybody on the internet's been saying this is why you needed to address your goaltending.
Sure.
And when you put up a 9-1 loss, everybody pays attention. So, like I said, it was some of both. It was interesting that 4 players scored 2 goals, and 2 of them obviously Makar and MacKinnon, and the other 2 less likely Parker Kelly and Jack Drury. So it was good to see the spread of wealth there.
Mhm.
That's pretty much my takeaway from that. I do wonder if they're just really not that good anymore, Edmonton.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
obviously have 2 great players, but as I've said for the longest time, you need way more than 2 great players. And I just
Mhm.
don't know if they really have, if they're anything better than just kind of like a garden variety good team. They might not even
Mhm.
be a good team anymore. They just might be mid now.
Yeah.
So we'll
Great
see.
use, a great use of modern nomenclature right there, Jackie. I love it. Um, I'm right there with you. I noticed just now that in the script that my beautiful Grammarly changed the word Edmonton being bad to Edmonton being evil. And that's really hilarious, but it cracks me up because McDavid may have enabled his team too late. And that's kind of where they're at. We'll come to find out because they have to get a goalie, right? Edmonton has to. That was the whole point of him giving his team such a team-friendly deal was, look, I'm giving you the power now to go fix this. They haven't done it yet, and obviously it's not something that happens overnight unless you're the Colorado Avalanche and you decide to get a whole new goalie room in a matter of 5 days. They made it look kind of easy, but it's not so easy for Edmonton apparently because it has been the issue for them for about 3 years, 2 of which they did go to a final. You think you'd learn the lesson in the first go around, but they didn't. So I'm kind of right there with you, Jackie. Like I'm wondering if this team is going to be a day late and a dollar short, just generally speaking, and if McDavid's contract kind of falls into that thinking as well. But Ezra, I'm curious how you feel about that. We didn't hear from you last week, so where were you at on preferring the MacKinnon or McDavid versus the Makar versus Hughes games? And what are your thoughts on that OT victory in Vancouver?
Yeah, I mean, great to get an OT win. I didn't think we played our best game as the Avalanche in that one, but they managed to get to overtime and actually win one for once, which is wonderful. I was more intrigued going into the Makar Hughes matchup just because I feel like MacKinnon McDavid we know. Like, you know what I mean? Like we know what that is. MacKinnon and McDavid are both going to play well. They're both going to get their points, and Edmonton has no supporting cast. Like we know. So I loved how it turned out. 9-1 was so fun. I really enjoyed that game. I enjoy a close game more, but my second favorite kind of hockey is a blowout win. So so that was great. But yeah, I mean, I going into Makar Hughes, I'm like, can we put to bed this idea that Hughes is as good as Makar? And I don't know that we necessarily can off of that game alone, but the way that they're playing this season, they're both very good. Hughes is very shifty. Makar makes a difference in all 3 facets of the game. He's great in all parts of the ice, and Hughes is too. But man, it's just so clear to me that Makar is generational, and Hughes is a superstar, and that's a big difference.
There is a big difference, and I think you're right. Like, obviously, we inherently are going to have a little bit of bias, but I think even like objectively, you can look at how they impact all 3 phases of the game. I mean, we were beaten over the head last year with the fact that Hughes is a better all-around player and better because he contributes and carries a team that's not all that talented. To the point where we've had Vancouver fans basically calling the rest of the team trash just in an effort to make Hughes look better as he compares to Makar. But there is really, to me, there is that difference in terms of generational and superstar. That's the difference between the 2 players. And that's really not a bad thing. Like saying that you have a superstar defender is great. He has the potential to maybe be generational, but it kind of comes with the territory of this little thing called winning. So that comes along as well. Maybe Canucks aren't good, but I find that hard to believe based on the fact we saw a pretty good game between the two clubs when it really was everyone on the ice. But Brandon, I'm curious how you feel. You had a big prediction, which we'll get into in our bold prediction segment, as far as it went with McDavid. MacKinnon did win that head-to-head matchup by putting up some gaudy numbers. And as we mentioned before, it does feel like the Oilers might be a goalie away, but they might be a lot more than a goalie away, correct?
Yeah. Well, and first off, check YouTube because the ratio is off. The picture's horrible.
It's vertical for some reason.
Yeah. It looks.
I
like
see like our little pictures on the left side where the sidebar should be, and then our pictures are kind of normal in the middle.
Yeah, I think YouTube's done an update or StreamYard's done an update, and it's messing things up.
Okay, let me go take a so there's two different streams. There's the regular stream, and then there's a phone stream now for people who are on their phones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think you have the phone stream going to YouTube, and that's
it's on both actually. Thankfully, there's a phone and a regular stream both on YouTube. You're looking at the phone one, but I can definitely update some of our
maybe that's what I see. The phone's on the left, and then our pictures are more horizontal on the
that
right.
is correct. That is correct.
But anyway, Brennan, what are you feeling about the Oilers?
Anyways, I'm sure someone was going to say something anyways, but I was watching Tristan Nielsen rip up his old team in Loveland, so I didn't get to watch the Edmonton game.
Sure.
I was seeing the updates and the updates and the updates. Oh my God, the updates.
This is the perfect place for you to say Edmonton needs blank.
Edmonton needs goalies.
Okay. All right. I teed it up and you didn't take it.
Yes, Edmonton needs something more than what's Skinner making? $5 million, and it's just a freaking sieve. Come on.
Yeah, she put it on a T for you though. You know,
I think Adrian's picking up what I'm putting
Edmonton
down.
needs Brad Marchand.
There you go.
It is funny. I was explaining to my fiance was watching the game with me that one, and she's like, "What's going on? Why is it so lopsided?" And I'm like, "Well, most teams have like a number one goalie and a backup, but Edmonton has a backup and a washed up AHLer. No offense, Calvin. I mean, plenty of offense, Calvin, but sorry. And it's unbelievable that they've let this continue. I'm sure everyone in the world is talking about this that cares about hockey, but it's just unreasonable that they've let this happen. I don't understand how good Stuart Sinner must be in the locker room for them to have this kind of like faith in him. He's just like part of the old boys club as a young man. I don't get it, but it's they have to make a change. It makes no sense. But beyond that, you look at that roster and the fourth line is a bunch of rookies and the third line is like guys who I don't know where they even fit in a regular NHL lineup. Their depth is terrible right now.
Like they didn't have the thing that I thought, okay, we can say the goaltending was terrible and it gave the Avs all these goals. There wasn't much pushback.
No.
There wasn't. You only had the one McDavid goal on the power play and Draisaitl had the assist and then nothing else. If it was going to be kind of like fire wagon, how sometimes the Avs Edmonton matchups can be, there's just no response. To me, I think that was the more surprising thing. You could look at the goaltending and just say they gave that game away and it's fine. But there was no response. There was nothing that Edmonton could do to even try to make it close offensively.
Yeah, and then after the game, the quotes from that locker room were all like, "Yeah, I mean, I guess I could have been better. We all should have been better." It's like none of you have any idea. Like, what are you talking? Yeah, really bad quotes, especially the Jake Wallman one. I was like, "Wow, he is just defeated," and he just got paid $7 million a year for 7 years.
The thing with Edmonton is they like I said, they're late to the party a little bit. Like Ezra, it's crazy, like you said, how long this has gone on. They've gotten worse in terms of the roster around a not good goalie room, and have felt like, oh, that's going to make things way better. it's I don't understand. What is that, Brandon? Oh
What's
my
happening,
God.
Ben?
It's if anyone has seen the Face Off show, we all know what that was.
Oh, I don't know what I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Oh,
Like
probably
David-
McDavid yelling.
yeah,
Probably.
freaking out
Oh,
because we're all not fucking good enough.
that's
And
not
Oh.
good. Okay. I was wondering what you had going
I
on
probably
there.
wasn't yelling during that intermission. I'm gonna
oh
gather.
no, he avoided the media, and
Yeah.
like he went into a fetal position, I'm sure. But it's
Yeah.
just, oh my gosh, it's
Now, granted, like Zach Hyman, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Kasperi Kapanen are all out, but if those three guys are the difference between you being capable of keeping up with the Avalanche and not, I don't think you're capable of keeping up with the
You
Avalanche.
got, yes.
Yeah,
Exactly. You got real problems. You got real
I like
problems.
those players. All three of those players. Well,
The
Kapanen to a
Hyman
lesser
is good
extent.
for sure. Like he
Hyman's
would have
great.
made a bit of a difference, but
don't
Yeah,
tell
not a
Hyman-
goals, not a
fans
goals
that.
No.
difference.
No.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
Edmonton fans will definitely disagree with you on that.
yeah, they love to beat up on him. Well, let's circle back, Jackie, because today's a big day, at least in my opinion. We'll see what you think. Today's a big day for the Avalanche because I think they with this extension for Gavin Brindley, who scored the overtime winner in the Avalanche last game out. To me, it does send a bit of a message. And we've also heard like actual words from Bednar where he says we have to start doing these things and developing certain guys. Sure, he listed like a 30-year-old in mentioning all those guys, but nonetheless, the Avs feel like they've turned a corner in making promises to youth. And we talked a lot last year about how that's a very common characteristic of very good teams is having an influx of youth talent. Do the Avalanche have that now with Gavin Brindley and Bardakov?
I would say it's just still way too early to say, and
Okay.
the contributing youth on these other teams are like Wyatt Johnston, true
Sure.
difference makers. Now, I'm not going to say if they get like a third line or a middle six out of Brindley, that doesn't count, because to me that we're seeing the difference between, it's just fine player, replacement level player. This is the difference. If I want to say there's any message about that, this is the difference. This is why it's not okay to just throw in some replacement level players to waste time. You could get more from somebody. Now, if we're talking about Bardakov, I don't think Bardakov's going to last very long. I think he's going to get.
He's the odd man out when LOC returns. Yeah,
and I think I think that's the right call. I think we've seen more from Brindley. Are we trying to talk about the extension right now?
Yeah, we can do it. Yeah.
I mean, sure, it was a pleasant surprise. He's only played, I think, 15 NHL games in his career. It's nice for the Avs to recognize that he's contributed. But when I saw the details of this extension, I was like, this is not what people think it is. Like, this is like the middle.
It's not a bad deal. So
well, okay, it's great for the Avs that it's under
affordable.
Under 900,000. Sure. And when you have someone in the line, it'll be easier for them to keep him in the lineup because he's so cheap. That's the good part. The bad part is this isn't a commitment. This isn't even what Middleton got last spring. So this isn't going to keep him in the NHL. If you truly thought that he kind of got over the hump and has ascended to at least NHL regular, why is that first year two-way? Why can't you at least just give him a one-way? Why is it two-way? What are we saying here?
Sure.
If you want to keep it cheap because you need cheap contributors, cool. But why on earth is it two-way still? And it's only $300 guaranteed. That's even less than what Middleton's getting guaranteed. So, what message are we sending here is what I'm saying. Like, yes, it's a pat on the back. It's great to have a contract extension. My other question is, why did he take it as an RFA this summer? Is it really getting worse than this?
He is an RFA this summer. Or
I know, I said as an RFA.
Yeah, would have
been.
been.
Like, how much?
Is this your topic of discussion that we were going to bring up?
It's not actually.
No? Okay.
It isn't.
Okay, good to know. Well, I was just curious because I wanted to make sure I still made time for that.
No,
but
it's an Avs related topic. So
Okay.
What I'm saying is, okay, if you think about it from his perspective, like the Avs are offering me a 2-year deal, that's great, but like what offer would he have gotten this summer? If he had spent the whole year in the NHL,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably better than this. Is this
Mhm.
offer good to him if he goes back to the AHL and stays? Then yes, you're happy to have a one-way in that second year. But if you spend this year in the NHL and you have a two-way next year, you've undervalued yourself. And
Yeah,
I'm just
I
talking
think
real
that's true.
money. I'm not talking cap hit. I'm talking real money.
Mhm. I
So
think
to me,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry,
not
finish.
to me, sure, it's nice, but my heart sank when I saw what this really is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like it's a deal that's slanted in the favor of the Avalanche, and in that sense, you're a little disheartened. But at the same time, like they got to do what they got to do.
I
It's
mean, it's
about
about
fitting.
commitment. It's not about
Sure,
money. It's about commitment. This isn't a
sure. I mean,
commitment. It's an
I get this.
AHL commitment. It's we
Well,
want you to stay in our organization, not we want you to stay in the NHL. And
for
so
a
to
year,
me,
then it's a we want you in the NHL.
well, 2 years from now, I mean,
But there's a risk for the Avalanche too. He's not a hook, line, and sinker success just because he had a couple of goals in October and November. You know what I mean? So
sure,
there's some
but
risk
it's
from the outside too, and I think that's what you're seeing built into this deal is like we're all going to strike while the iron's hot. We're going to pay you because you're also playing really well right now. We're going to pay you right now because you're playing well right now. We're going to make you here for longer now because you're playing really good right now. It's like to me, it's a cookie. Like here you go, you did it. Have a cookie, and then when we circle back, when Logan O'Connor does come back, and Bardakov goes down, and it's Brindley again with what should be an even better group down there in the bottom six, he should elevate even more. So
what
I
one more
understand
point. I'm glad
yeah.
that you brought up
Okay.
O'Connor. Just one more point.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about his 5-year extension, what that he got, but it was after he had only had 42 or something NHL games, and they gave him a 3-year extension at the beginning of, I think, 2021 season that didn't even kick in until the following year. It was
Mm-hmm.
1.5 million for 3 years. They didn't
Mm-hmm.
even give Brindley this, and that was obviously one way. 1.5
Sure.
million for 3 years. That is something that would have looked more like a commitment, or 1.5 for 2 years. That's what
Mm-hmm.
a commitment would have looked like.
I mean,
Not here's the same deal that we just gave Keaton Middleton, who currently is in the AHL.
But O'Connor was also 25, 26 at that point, was he not?
He was an RFA, and he would have been an RFA at the end of that year.
But he's an older player. Brindley's 22, 21, 22, 21, 21.
21.
Brindley's
But
21.
same
And this
experience.
is like, yeah,
I'm
same
just
experience
saying.
for sure. But this is classic, like, well, he's still a kid. And I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but this is like classic Avs thinking of like, well, he's a kid. He belongs on an AHL deal. If he makes the roster, wonderful. And I understand the gripes with that, but I also see where it's coming from, where it's like, no, this guy needs to earn it to be on an NHL deal. And he has the opportunity to do that because there's space on the roster, and maybe they keep that space for him next year. With Middleton, it was like, we don't want to lose this guy on waivers, so we're going to make next year a poison pill for anyone who would claim him. But also we want somebody better than him. And maybe they're thinking the same with Brindley, where they're like, okay, he might end up being somebody who can work long-term, but he might not. So we need to have a way to keep him while also leaving space for somebody to replace him if we need that, which is smart from the Avs perspective. It's disappointing from the Gavin Brindley fan perspective that we're both coming from, Jackie, and I think all of us. But like, I get it. I get why they would do it like this. And then, yeah, if he sticks in the league, and then his next contract should be much more like the current Logan O'Connor contract, if not better.
I think that's a good point. I think the next one skips a contract if he follows through the way he started. Like it'll go from this not an entry level, but feels like an entry level contract again, to a more middle of my career, very respectable wage earner in the next one. Whereas I think what we're asking for would have been, in terms of just a one-way deal strictly, probably wouldn't have felt like that. And I'm with Vaguely. I think having the ability to send him down to the AHL without putting him on waivers is a plus, because if he does struggle, well, hear me out, Jackie. If he struggles, what's the point in making the kid sit and watch just because he's on an NHL contract? That's going to be detrimental to his development. So in the event that things don't work out as well as they have so far, You have the freedom to send him down to the AHL to get some reps in. He should be a part of a power play there. I know that's your big thing. Brindley's going to be on the power play in the
I
AHL.
wouldn't even assume that. I wouldn't.
He'll be everything down there.
I wouldn't assume that.
He'll be.
I want to say one way, two way doesn't mean waivers. Your waiver is based on your age and experience level. So if you're on a one way, you can be waived, or your waiver exemption. If you're on a one way, you can still be waived, and if you're on a one way, you can also be exempt. It has to do with your age and your experience level. So I can't think of it off the top of my head how many years, because he had the first year burned, but it didn't count. So I think this is year 2. So I think he's exempt for like 4 years. So it wouldn't change. If he was on a one-way next year, I believe he's still exempt.
Yeah, the one-way, two-way thing is just dictating whether or not the pay changes if he's in the AHL.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and then also, like, when he's down there, they would utilize him more than likely on PK and power play.
I wouldn't assume that.
That's the way I'd look at it. The way
they're doing it now in the NHL.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean what they would do in the AHL.
There's the other
they have
side
veterans.
There's the other side of this commitment coin, though, for me, Jackie. He's playing in every game in which he's healthy enough to do so.
Yeah,
which is good
for the NHL leading Colorado Avalanche. So I mean, like, we want to talk about commitment. His name keeps ending up on the sheet, and that to me is a level of commitment that sure we've seen in the past, but I don't think
if that happens after March 6th, then I'll say this is a big thumbs up.
And he also got in the lineup before Bardakov.
I do think he's ahead of Bardakov at this point.
Yeah,
and I think we could say that.
And he did it with a healthy Kiviranta at the time.
And that's also, what if they actually get healthy up front? Kiviranta comes back. Then, does he outlast Kiviranta? Does he put Kiviranta in the press box?
The way Kiviranta was playing, he wasn't producing points. Yeah, he may have been producing in other ways, but he wasn't producing points. Brindley is.
Yeah, that's the real like flashpoint. Our next like important flashpoint for him is
if they get there. Knock on wood. Assuming nothing else happens, I'm knocking right now, but I definitely would love to see what would happen if that comes.
Oh, and it's official. Parker Kelly has done enough to keep himself on the lineup for at least 2 more years, with his performance
or his contract.
Yeah,
and I was actually talking about this.
Me too.
In my last article that I coincidentally happened to publish on Monday morning, that Bardakov needed to be the one who got scratched instead of Brindley, and the reason being is because Brindley was getting so many shots on goal per 60 minutes, and it's I think it's like 1.67 or something like that shots per goal on goal per 60 minutes, compared to Bardakov, who was playing center no less. I think it was like 0.86. And the difference is, if you spread that out, like every player had that difference in the forward core. That is 17 shots over a game.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes a difference. That was just one example I used. And so there's a reason why he's in the lineup compared to Bardakov.
Yeah. I just think, like we talked about it in the preseason. Oh man, the Avs updated his picture on the website, by the way, and it's his celebration from his OT winner and doing the chainsaw. It is wicked. But I'm just looking at him, I look at Gavin Brindley and I see the future, baby. And that's a great feeling. That's a really good feeling, because for the last couple of years, Jared Bednar said it himself. They've pretty much done nothing but trade what feels like the future for the present. And I think Brindley might be a unicorn in the sense that he may be good enough, early enough to stick around and be kind of the face of the next wave, so to speak. I mean, look at no further than the team the Avalanche play tonight. Troy Terry was the best player on the Ducks team until now. He still might be. There's an argument, but
I think he got surpassed.
Yeah, but he was the start of that wave for them. And I think that Brindley may not be the best player on this future Avs team that I'm talking about, but he might be the beginning of that wave. And for that, I think I'm really excited. It remains to be seen kind of where it goes from here. But Jackie, you brought up in the offseason that you wanted to do a player of the week segment. And then I forgot for the first 4 weeks of the season. So let's do that this time, actually. And we sent out nominations. I asked you all to nominate somebody today. The nominations were Parker Kelly, Nathan MacKinnon, and Gavin Brindley. Obviously, we've touched a plenty on Gavin and why he was nominated. We started to talk a little bit about Parker Kelly, who had a tremendous performance in front of 25 plus friends and family in Vancouver. He hit the forehand backhand on the breakaway like it was NHL 26. And
Pickard.
Yeah. Pickard looked just like the goalie.
Druin did that when he was part of the Lightning in OT.
Yeah.
16-17.
That's right.
Yeah, I was just tired and I wanted the game to end. That is a quote.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. I forgot about that. Well, the other guy that was nominated, which, I mean, we should have known he was going to win, even though I do think the whole panel, I think, probably chose Gavin. The winner is definitely Nathan MacKinnon in terms of the vote. He got 80% of the vote for player of the week via Mile High.
He didn't get a contract.
Yeah, exactly. The guy who got paid as an automatic winner. Yeah. Yeah, of course MacKinnon deserved to be nominated. I mean, he's the first star of the week in the NHL.
He has a bleeping he has 10 points in the last 3 games. 5 of which came against Edmonton. You would think he had 4, against Vancouver. You'd think he had 4 against Edmonton. It was a 9-1 game. He had 5 points against Vancouver, which is just, and how you let Nathan MacKinnon be all alone coming out of the penalty box when you're up 2-1. I don't know if hockey sense is disappearing from the game of hockey, but that made zero sense to me that no one was protecting the box. And you have a fourth forward on the ice, right? So someone's coming off simultaneously. Professional hockey players here. I don't know what's going on, but it cracks me up. There's a quote from, I think it's Paul Maurice, that says you teach him the same thing at 7 that you have to teach him at 17, and again at 27, and again at 37. We all just make these same mistakes over and over and over again, it appears. But Nathan MacKinnon cashing in on him, clearly head and shoulders the best player this week. Brendan, what do you got?
It was funny because the same mistakes that Edmonton was making were the same lessons that my kid's coach was doing Monday morning.
Yeah.
Literally the same lesson. So it was actually kind of funny.
He was just coaching your goalie?
No, he was coaching on how to attack the net at 6 o'clock in the morning on a 6-year-old. This is where you want to get on the ice.
Ezra with more comedy.
That whole game, you just got to show young goalies and say, "Don't do this. This is bad." Yeah. I want to say I nominated Brindley before news broke about his contract.
Yeah.
So we were organically choosing Brindley.
Exactly.
Or at least I was. Well, that was my nomination.
I nominated MacKinnon, but I agree with Brindley for sure.
Yeah.
And then since Evan had also nominated MacKinnon before, I threw one at Parker Kelly, but
I mean, it was a good choice as well. I think those were the 3 best players. I'm hoping that we see, since we're going to keep doing this week after week, next week I hope it's Martin Necas, or please God, let it be Brock Nelson, and I bet you $100 that's what we're going to talk about later, Jackie.
Okay. We'll see.
Sounds like I'm losing $100.
Yeah, Jack can still change it just to get that money.
Yeah.
I got an honorable mention though.
Okay.
Tristan Nielsen.
Nice. What, in his 5 minutes?
No. No, you got to include the Eagles in on this. Come on.
I was gonna say Taylor McCarr.
Just make it like a blanket, like Eagles vets. Just like
the boy had 2 goals and 1 assist over the weekend against his former team, no less.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't even know if that was the best because you have to look at what all the other. I think, unfortunately, Tynan's leading in AHL in points.
Tynan doesn't even have a goal.
I know. Well, that's him. Like he doesn't. He doesn't. If you look at his career, he doesn't score goals in the AHL.
No, he doesn't.
He gets power play assists. It was funny. Whatever game was free the previous week, so it was the other broadcasters, and they were talking about Tynan, and the broadcaster even goes, "Oh, I bet half of his points are from the power play." I thought that was pretty funny.
Burn.
No, they're not.
I mean, they are pretty close.
They're not. They haven't been scoring on the power play lately.
I know they don't score. The Eagles' big bugaboo is they can't score on the power play on the road. I think that they're like in the tops of the league. I think the power play's up there. They've scored 1 power play goal on the road. They're at 5%. Like what difference? What is the enormous difference? But this is what's been their thing over the last many years. They don't score on the power play on the road.
No, does this sound familiar to all our listeners?
No, that's exactly what I was thinking.
I don't think we've never analyzed the Avs power play home versus road. I've never found that.
Yeah, I don't think it's a road or home thing. It's just the same issue with the power play not working.
Yeah,
but
it's a goal or no goal kind of thing as well over there in the big boys.
In Vancouver, though.
It did. Well, let's look ahead at tonight's matchup. And folks, while I have all 400 of your attention, please head on over to the website, milehighhockey.com. You can find all of our written material there. We got a preview that I wrote. And coincidentally, Jackie, the news about Gavin Brindley's extension broke while I was writing the preview and writing a sentence about how good Gavin Brindley has been. So it was kind of
perfect.
Like,
you manifested it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so head on over to the website. You can find that. I believe, Jackie, you'll have an article or already have an article coming out about Brindley's extension.
Yeah, I just published it. Yeah.
Beautiful. So you can get more information over there, details on the contract, whatnot. And, of course, Brennan's material at Hockey Mountain High, as well as Evan, who's not with us in the program currently, but will probably be next week if I have anything to say about it. Ezra, you, however, were not with us last week, which is totally fine, but I do want to get your take on this Anaheim Ducks team that the Avalanche will be playing tonight. We talked about it a little bit the week before last. The standings in the NHL in general are just a little kooky right now. And right in the smack dab middle of that theme are the Anaheim Ducks, who are the Pacific leading Anaheim Ducks currently. And they, on paper, look like a playoff team. What are your thoughts on tonight's matchup?
Yeah, I think they're a fun young team. They've got a lot going for them. They're playing well. They've got veterans contributing, which is a difference from last year's Anaheim team, where the veterans really were some of the slower, weaker links on the team. This year, they brought in veterans that can actually contribute, and it's making a big difference. Jacob Trouba is playing like out of his mind right now. If he keeps this up, then I would say they're definitely a playoff team, because peak Jacob Trouba was a great player. He just really wasn't peak for a while in New York, but if he's back, they have everything. They have everything hitting, right, from forwards to defense to goaltending. I love Lucas Dostal. He's so good. Unfortunately I guess I don't know. Either way, Peter Mrazek as a backup. Fortunate or unfortunate that he's not very good. It's unfortunate when he plays, but it's fortunate that he's a backup, not a starter. But I mean, you gotta love Leo Carlson at the top of the league scoring. They've got great support throughout the lineup on offense with goals contributions from kind of all over the place. Cutter Gauthier is looking good. I mean, man, there's a lot to like there, and they're a very fun team to watch, which, you know, you love that in a young group. They're creative, they're defensively sound, they're doing a lot well. I don't think they can keep up with the Avalanche over a 7-game series by any means, but there's definitely a realistic shot that they can keep up with them in a 1-game regular season matchup. So the Avs will have to be on top of their game to beat them, but you know, that's the beauty of a young team coming up. They've got their sights set on a team like Colorado as a marking post. I don't know. What am I trying to say?
Measuring stick.
Yeah,
measuring stick. Thank you. It's been a long day. A measuring stick for their season, whereas the Avs are like, who are these flies? Let's swat them off, you know. But it's gonna make for a fun game.
Yeah, that's a good point, because it's like either tonight they will get another notch in their belt in terms of feeling validated as a potentially really good hockey team in the season, or they'll get a little slice of humble pie from the well-oiled machine that is the Avalanche. I mean, I think from from this whole panel's perspective, the Avalanche have played great, but not even to their capability on like a consistent basis. I think we've seen flashes of as good as it gets for the Avalanche, and we've seen flashes of really bad, and somehow in between all of that, we've seen wins or just overtime losses, which has resulted in where they are, which is a quarter of the way to a 100-point season, just 16% into the 82 game regular season. So, and which will be the 5th straight 100-point season. So you're right, Ezra. The Avalanche are a franchise that, as a team like Anaheim, you look to and say, all right, well, where do we stack up against these guys? Because they're pretty formidable and pretty well established. But Brennan, typically a game against Edmonton and a homestand like the one the Avalanche are about to go on right now with Ducks, Sabres, and Islanders has been like viewed as a pretty solid opportunity to secure some wins. Feels a little different right now. Are you poised on the Avalanche taking advantage of this opportunity? Or are you more worried about these being a little bit more trap game like now?
I think it's going to be a big measuring stick considering the way that the Ducks are playing. And I don't think I've ever been excited for a Ducks game since, like, I don't know, 2014. It's
Perry?
been a while.
Yeah.
I'm excited just to watch Troy Terry play because he's got points in I think 11 of his last 12. And I'm talking, it's not like 1 or 2. It's usually like 2 assists or 2 goals. He's been lighting it up lately. And then you've got Seneca. I think that's how you say his last name.
Yep.
I mean, that kid. The first off, the reaction when he got drafted, you can't write that.
Yeah.
He instantly became my favorite Duck, but I've liked the way he's been playing lately too. So he's been a great guy. And then Alex Killorn, he came from Tampa, so a little biased there.
Yeah. Stop talking about the Lightning like you love them. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it.
At least we're done playing them. So
yes,
we can love the Lightning for a little while.
You can love them again. You're right, Jackie. Good call. Jackie, will you touch on the Anaheim Ducks as you see them, and give me your take on the other 2 games as well, and then we can all touch on them with the other 2 games being the Sabres and the Islanders.
Just echo what everyone said. The Ducks game is actually pretty interesting. It's also on national TV on TNT. So it was interesting when the schedule came out. It was like, really? Like, why'd you pick that one? But
nailed it finally.
Yeah, some nice miracle foresight there, I guess. It's actually a good game. I like young teams. I like young teams on the rise. So I'm excited to see that. I've looked in their numbers a little bit. They do look pretty legitimate. So I believe they won 7 in a row or something like that.
They have. That is correct.
So it truly is a clash of 2 teams playing well, and I'm excited for it. I think we pretty much got all we can out of that one. As far as the others, and I will say the young teams, even if you include San Jose, the young teams have played the Avs hard. Utah and San Jose. And I'm interested to see what Chicago looks like in the future, but I know that's not this week. But anyway, Buffalo, they have had a respectable start at least. Their injuries are crazy already. I mean, just voodoo stuff. Like the guy Kulich who was their 1C has some sort of bizarre blood clot issue, and now he's out. Jason Zucker has some crazy viral infection and he hasn't been able to eat for 10 days.
Jason Zucker tends to get sick almost every year. I don't know what it is about that guy. It's just he's out for long term usually every year.
Yeah, like it just happens to some guys. Zach Benson has already had like 2 strange injuries. Who knows if he can play yet? Rasmus Dahlin went back to Sweden to be with his girlfriend, almost died over the summer because she had to have a heart transplant, an emergency heart transplant. I mean, it is sad because they've been doing okay. Like they haven't buried themselves, but I don't know. Like, they have a tough road trip. Like we talked about the other week. They're playing Utah on Wednesday, and then back to back with Colorado, and then I think they have one other after that. It might be Vegas or Dallas or something where it's just like, oh, geez. Like, they're going to be done by the time they get to next week. I do feel for them. Like, so I know it's going to be like the meme, oh, the Sabres, but it's like they just can't even put a lineup together and try to stay on the rails. I will say I have a Lost in the Avalanche coming out that's Sabres related. And no, it's not Byram. For anyone, it's not time for a Lost in the Avalanche for Byram, but somebody else. So look for it. I will publish it tomorrow in advance of the Sabres game.
I have a quick game we can all play right now. I'm going to say 4 names, and you tell me what they have in common, okay?
Oh, I love this.
Are we doing Buckadoo?
Ryan McLeod, Noah Ostlund, Tyson Kozak, and Peyton Krebs.
They all play for the Sabres.
Yeah,
That's
they all
true,
play for the
but
Sabres.
more specifically, that's the Sabres center depth right now. Number 1, Ryan McLeod. Good player, not a number 1 center. Number 2, Noah Ostlund. Who? Number 3, Tyson Kozak. What? Number 4, Peyton Krebs. I thought he was supposed to be good.
Yeah,
wild
Ostlund. I know Ostlund was first or 16th overall pick. He's a young guy, so I mean, there's hope there. But
Yeah.
Well, Buffalo looks like they're screaming down the halls of not making the playoffs for a 15th straight season, which is much to the chagrin of Evan, who is now a Buffalo Sabres fan, and we won't take him back. It's official. He missed another episode. He's not. He is on the. What did we decide the Buffalo Hockey Lab would be called? We gave it a name.
So I'm just saying, like,
floating down the Niagara.
If it's not pretty, even though they did have some crazy games against the Avs last year, but
it's gonna be not pretty. I have a feeling you're right.
And then the Islanders have been doing okay. I actually think they won a few games lately. I think they won in overtime yesterday. I mean, probably no match for the Avs, but you know, they can pull one out every once in a while. So it's kind of a weird schedule for the Avs. The Islanders game is pretty much the only game they play in a week. So they could be a little rusty, or they could be definitely rusty when they get to that Rangers game. But it's a little weird of a schedule. This is where it's not compressed, and then December will be crazy. But I mean, yeah, the schedule definitely sets up for the Avs to take advantage. We haven't really seen them have like a full, I don't know, I guess what would you call it, just play down to their opponent game. We haven't seen that yet. So it's kind of hard to say because the Avs haven't done that this year. So I guess you really can't anticipate that because they haven't done it. So I guess you got to say they'll take care of business.
Yeah, we'll see Patty Waugh back in the house as well with the Islanders. So that's always a fun game. Would be kind of cool if him and Bednar got in a spat, just saying.
I don't think the Avs need manufactured drama.
Nah, but man, would it be fun. Let's get a little WWE in there.
Yeah, we don't need the partition going down.
Exactly. You saw into my brain, Brennan. You saw into my brain.
I was.
Those are two scrappers right there, baby. A little different than when Patrick pushed it over into the Wild bench because he was pushing it over onto someone who was pretty much a geriatric. In this scenario, it'd be Jared Bednar and Patrick Waugh. Come on, bro. Let's do this. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, Jackie, I see it the same way. Islanders, probably the best team in New York right now, which is sad for the Rangers. But if the Rangers want to wonder what's happening, maybe they should look at the guys that are playing and doing well for the Anaheim Ducks and wonder if they maybe made some poor decisions as it pertains to that. But
definitely
nonetheless,
seems like there's a culture issue. They just kind of got to like hit the reset button. I don't even know if it's like talent or personnel wise, but just definitely like culture wise, they got to hit the reset button there.
Yep. Well, Jackie, I think
the
now
Islanders and Rangers are tied in the standings. With 18, but yes,
still, I think the Islanders are the better team in New York. They just beat them 5-0, so I think I have a little bit of an edge in terms of that. But Jackie, now's a great time for the subject that you wanted to bring to the table. This is a surprise to even me. So
yes, I try to keep it secret. And no, it's not. How did the Avs score 14 goals and Brock Nelson get 0 points? It's not that. It could have been.
Dang it, I owe you $100 then.
He was busy playing defense.
Exactly. Oh, all right, let's hear it.
Well, we know who's in net for this game. We talked about how this Ducks game is kind of a big game, surprisingly. And it was reported that Scott Wedgwood is in net again. So we saw
Yes.
Blackwood now twice. He did get second game back-to-backs. They weren't the best team in front of him, but he also has like an 875 save percentage. You know, he's still working his way back. Is Scott Wedgwood truly the starting goaltender right now?
I think so.
I mean, the words right now are really the operative words here, because it is right now Mackenzie Blackwood is getting back up to speed. Is he the long-term starter? I don't think so for a second, but right now, yeah, absolutely.
I don't think that they would just give up on it. I mean, they signed him to a term and everything, but I think Wedgwood gives you the best chance to win right now. I don't think it's just about rest. I also think I think they kind of trust Wedgwood more now. But
yeah,
we also did see Wedgwood had a not so great week when he was overused, so he's not like he's been perfect. But it'll be interesting to see how they shake out. I think it's a little bit more of a discussion than I think the outside world kind of thinks of it. It's just like, oh yeah, well, Blackwood's back, but I think it's going to take a little bit more for it to be his net again.
I agree with that, especially like Ezra, you put it perfectly. Right now are the operative words in that sentence. I also think they're going to be the operative words in the future, because I don't think we realize as Avalanche fans, which has been trained into us, that it's okay to have two really good goalies, as unlikely as that might be. We've been hard pressed for a good goalie. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Darcy Kemper, because I think he is a good goalie, and the same is true for Frankie. But I think that these two goalies right now are a step above that tandem, and that tandem proved to be enough in 2022. And I think really that's when we see the Mackenzie Blackwood that's getting that price tag is in the playoffs. We might even see Scott Wedgwood in the playoffs as well. And that'll be a good thing to me, because if you have the ability, the freedom to win with pretty much whoever's in the net, but you can always ride the hot hand and get those 1 or 2 or 3 extra saves on any given night, that's the model. And the hot hand does change. We all know goalies are crazy creatures. It's very rare for a goalie to put together just one long dominant run. In this scenario, we're going to get 2 seasons, basically. It's going to be the Scott Wedgwood season and the Mackenzie Blackwood season. And I think that bodes well for this Avalanche team in the long run.
Well, yeah, because by the time Wedgie gets tired, then Blackwood can come in. But you have that transition period where we're kind of seeing it now, that Blackwood's going to kind of not be great. And and he's trying to knock rust off. But people who are critical of that do need to realize he didn't have a summer to take pucks and stuff like that, because he was too busy rehabbing. And he
had a setback in the summer.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So he wasn't taking shots, if any shots during the summer. So for a goalie, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Hell, for a defenseman, it's a big deal for me to like not see a puck coming at me to try and block it. But
sure,
you know, that's my reference, at least, seeing the puck coming at me.
Sure. I had sources that were at camp telling me that he wasn't even going down when he was seldomly skating. He was never really active. Yeah. Well, it was actually Ryan O'Hara, but yeah, he was telling me like he was hardly hitting the deck, if at all. And so it wasn't ever real work in training camp.
No.
And then you broke the news of the setback, absolutely, which kind of was my point heading into the season. People were like, oh, he's going to be fine. He's going to be good to go opening night. Well, that wasn't true. And I think this is going to last longer than people realize. This, as you put it, Brendan, transition moment is going to last a little bit longer than people are really aware of. But good news. Scott Wedgwood is the winningest goalie in hockey right now. So we'll be okay.
And
then should it be his net for a while then?
I think
I
so.
think so, Jackie. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think you work Blackwood back in slowly because you have that
Mhm.
luxury.
I think you work him in like a backup until Scott Wedgwood's hot hand goes a little cold. And then that's the perfect opportunity for you to say, all right, McKenzie, go give it a whirl. And then his hand gets hot. And
Well,
Scott gets to
and
If
chill.
it's me, I'm making sure he gets one start a week, which backups don't typically get.
That's
But
true. That's a good
if
point.
that's what I would do. But Bednar is kind of a hot hand guy, so I would expect to see Wedgwood get a considerable chunk of the next couple
I
of
would
starts.
expect Blackwood to play against Buffalo for sure. It
Yeah,
definitely would be curious if he doesn't.
yeah.
Mhm.
But then with only 2 games, the Islanders and the Rangers game are really spread out, so
Mhm.
it really could go either way when they get to that.
Mhm.
If he does well
Yeah.
in Buffalo, you probably make sure he gets one of those New York games. If he doesn't, maybe you give him more practice time.
Well, and then all
Yeah.
the second or the one of the games on the back to back, of course, but
Mm-hmm.
Vancouver was also banged up to all heck
Mm-hmm.
because the fourth line for Vancouver was every single one of those guys was the first line in Abbotsford last year.
Nice.
Well, not by choice. Baines was going to be one of those guys I think was going to be pulled up. The other two were one of those guys who were like, okay, we're pulling you up because we need to, but kind of want to.
Did they give the 4-minute treatment? I didn't look.
I didn't look, but I mean, I was talking
No.
to their head scout who was at the Abbotsford game, and he's like, yeah, we're kind of hurting right now.
Yeah, the Avs are pretty lucky in that department, knock on wood too.
Yeah, so far.
They've
knock on
been
wood,
pretty
everything.
pretty
Yeah.
manageable. So
Baines,
See-
Carlson, and Reichel all were right around 10 minutes. And Carlson had that nice between the legs goal. That was cool.
Yeah. I didn't like the between the legs goal against Devon Taves there. That was a brutal look for number 7.
So in a way we're kind of shading the Avs because they let Abbotsford Canucks score on them.
Yeah.
Between
I
the
mean,
legs.
Abbotsford was a good team last year, so I mean they won the Calder. Got to give them that. But
Yeah. And Carlson's a guy who they have high hopes for in terms of
and I think
being
they've been trying to work Baines up for a year or two. So
yeah.
They also got a lot of local BC kids to sign there in the AHL. I guess it was like a novelty, and they were all happy to sign there.
That's cool.
Which Nielsen was one of them.
Mm.
So that was kind of like their competitive advantage at the time. But yeah. Anyway.
Well, now that we've
little
pseudo
tangent
shaded the Avalanche a little bit there, let's look at last week's bold predictions, folks. It's finally time for your favorite segment of the week, where we hash out who was bold and predicted successfully an outcome in last week's hockey action. I'll start with Mr. Evan Liu, who's not with us, but did in fact earn a ding. As he said, MacKinnon.
Wow, the one time he gets a ding, he's not here.
Yep. And he had Makar outscoring Hughes. So that, my friend, is and it puts Evan on the board. That's his first point of the year, which he was like, hey, guys, by the way, I scored, so put me on the board. But I won't be there. What a guy. I mean, come on. Jackie, you had Makar having a power play goal, which
I know
he
doesn't
not
have yet, but I still got tonight. I think I had 3 games to get it.
You do. So far, not so good, but there's hope for sure.
One more.
And
I got one more.
The Ducks are usually involved in some high scoring affairs so far this season, so it should be some pretty fun action tonight. Brendan, you had McDavid scoring no points.
I don't know if you saw my comment when when he finally scored.
Yeah, I saw it. You were not pleased.
No.
You also had a season-long prediction of Logan O'Connor coming back, and it was supposed to be tonight.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, this is a 2-buzzer week for you, my friend. I'm so sorry. But you still have the season-long of Landeskog scoring 30. if he keeps getting goals taken away due to review, it's definitely not going to happen.
That's going to be 30 reviews that the Avalanche are going to have.
Yeah, exactly. Ezra, you were not here to make a prediction, but you do have a season-long prediction rolling that says Colton spends more games at center than wing. So
You can
far,
probably
that's
buzz
not,
me for that
yeah, I was
one.
going to say, so far that's not been the trend. We'll keep it around, though. You never
No,
know.
I love that it's not happening because it means Jack Drury's been good.
Yes.
Or that they haven't been injured. That's the other.
Well, that too. That too.
Yes. And speaking of Jack Drury, I predicted that he would have 3 points in 3 games. And I believe we only saw 2 since my prediction. So it's kind of like Jackie's. I'm wrong for now, but he could score a point tonight, in which case next week I'll get a ding, which will be pretty sweet. If we included the Tampa game from last week, he did it. So I'll leave it up for tonight. I think that's only fair. And I think that is everything. Let us run the sponsor. And while I do so, you folks can think about your next bold prediction.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
I call that bold talk.
All right, this is Bold Predictions, a segment brought to you by Brews Ale House Brewing Company in Pueblo, Colorado, where you can head down and have some beverages and some food and watch the Avalanche and Nuggets play. It's a great spot. They have a litany of brews that are all made in-house, as well as a menu that is quite delicious. I will say that there's a burger called the Brews Ale House Burger, and if you get some green chili on it, it is absolutely delicious. So head on over to Brews Ale House Brewing Company in Pueblo, Colorado. And vaguely, I didn't forget you, bro. I see you, dog. I just wanted to save you for this very moment right here. This very moment.
Oh, yeah,
right
he
here.
was blowing up in my
Yes.
comments. He's like, I get my dings.
So vaguely hilariously predicted that Skinner would give up at least 4 goals. And so
Wow, that's an
Very-
earned ding for sure. We love
That's-
giving out
yeah.
extra dings.
yes, that is, you know what?
You need
And
to give him another one.
how about this one? Vaguely, you beauty. Way to go. Congratulations. And folks, don't forget, put your bold predictions back in. Oh, he says, I got both. I said, what if Pickard starts? Well, Pickard didn't technically start.
Yeah, that
I get
doesn't
what you're
count as
saying.
a start.
I get what you're saying.
But
though.
the decision did go to Pickard because he was in goal during the last goal.
All right, send me your appeal vaguely, and we'll process it, and we'll get back to you and let you know where
We'll have Bettman and the board look at it.
You gotta see exactly what it said. If it said start, I'm gonna say no. But in the spirit of it, that Pickard
Dude,
gave
you
it
already
up
got
too.
the show's first ever round of applause. So, I mean, take it easy over there, vaguely. We love you, everybody in the chat today. Appreciate you folks for tuning in and joining. We got Scott Wilson in the chat. We also had Yaniel Perez, Laura from X in the chat. Thank you folks so much for tuning in and for dropping in your contributions. Now let's get our bold predictions for this week, and we will do ladies first. Jackie?
All right, so I still got Makar's power play goal going tonight, which I swear he is so due. Like, even if it's a ding or not, it's going to happen soon. So
he's due at home.
Well, that could be your prediction. Mine specifically is the power play, but
I
yeah,
mean,
it all
not a
it all
bold
could come to
prediction. That's
fruition.
just he needs to score at home.
But I'm gonna extend the timeline of mine a little bit because I want to pick Sam Girard comes back and gets a point. I know Bednar said he's expected back on this homestand, so I don't want to limit it just to this week. If you can give me the Rangers game too on that, like we know he's not playing tonight, so at most that's 3 games.
Yeah,
and
if,
Sam Girard,
if it comes and goes, we can let it ride into the next week too.
Okay,
like if he doesn't come back, like if he comes back and he doesn't get a point, X or buzzer. If he doesn't come back at all, we'll just push it to the week that he does. I like that.
Okay, so I'll say Bednar said he'll be back on homestand, so I'm going to say he's going to get a point this homestand. So that should be 3 games, so it'll push it the next week a little bit, but
love it.
I'll keep those 2 on the board then. Makar and Girard.
It'd be real nice to not do the Jackashan and Solovyov dance anymore. So let's make that happen.
I'd like Deshaun.
Ezra, what do you think?
I've liked Deshaun. He's not who I'm going to predict, but I just wanted to say that since he came up. I don't want him to be a regular. He's just not enough of a player, but I've liked him. I think it's time. I think we're going to get 2 goals from Gabe Landeskog this week.
Woo! I love it.
He is due. I will say that he's probably saving them for when they really matter, like in that Edmonton game. Wasn't gonna matter.
That's amazing.
Maybe he's saving them for when it.
What if he said that in a press conference? I'm saving them for when they really matter. All right, guys.
Did I get a ding for one of my 15 goal prediction, or did they come up with 14?
No, it was 4. We decided it was 14.
Yeah,
it's like right under.
If we gave you the game after the window we decided on, you would have had like 19. So
yeah,
it was.
But I was right in spirit.
Oh man, you were
close,
so right.
Very close.
Night 1, we were like, "Oh, it's happening."
Yeah, I know. We just needed that Sharks OT win.
Yeah, we just we just all thought of the game against San Jose, and that was like the toughest game.
Isn't that something, Brandon? What do you got for me this week?
Got 2.
Okay.
Sweep against Tucson this weekend.
Okay.
And TJ Tynan goal.
God dang it.
And it has to be even strength.
I gotta start making Eagles predictions.
Oh,
it has to be even strength.
Let's see. Well, I've got his card pulled up anyways. His power play points.
It's 9. I could tell you that right now. It's 9 out of 16.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my bold prediction, and it's gonna be kind of mean, but I promise you that's like the reverse psychology thing. I think that Gabe Landeskog scores and has a goal disallowed again this week.
Okay, all right. If you call
I've got not nice words for you right now.
Yeah,
but I also think that the Avs sweep the week, so it's like a hockey god sacrifice. Maybe that's what he's doing.
Okay,
Are we all kind of doing 2 then? Are we kind of doing?
I guess I could find a second.
Let's do it.
If I can let the McCarr ride through the week, and then my Gerard one, and then both of you have 2. So Brennan didn't give us his second one.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Well, I said Tynan goal.
No,
but you said you had 2.
And
that was
sweep. Tucson sweep.
Okay, I didn't hear that part. Okay.
So Gabe will be disallowed again. But
that would be crazy.
That would be insane.
My fantasy team is hating that because Landy's on my team, and that put me ahead. Yeah. And then I saw my points go down, and I couldn't regain from that for the rest of the week.
It's actually kind of sad because the first time it happened, you could see like the Landeskog look of still reserve, where he was just like, no big deal, I'll get another one. This one, when they reviewed it, they quickly panned over to Landeskog and they showed his face, and he was like, "Are you serious again?" Like that was the look he had on his face, and I was like, "Oh, you did." This one got to him finally. This one finally got to him.
Well, there's a certain point where
I've got a second one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brian. I got a second one. I think you're gonna like it.
Okay.
Gavin Brindley outscores Callum Ritchie.
Ooh.
Even though they're not,
I would like Brock Nelson outscoring Callum Ritchie.
That would be nice too. That would be nice too.
How about Gavin Brindley outscores Miles Wood this week?
Well, that's guaranteed. I'm talking about just that Islanders game.
But yeah, it's your prediction. Sure.
I dig it.
But if it's both 0, it doesn't count.
No, that's fair.
If Brock Nelson scores any and neither of those guys do, I'll still give you a ding because I'm willing to do whatever it takes for Nelson to get more points on the board. This is probably a topic of conversation for our next episode because I'm just getting ready to wrap things up here with all of you. But if the Avs were losing right now, Brock Nelson would be getting absolutely scapegoated.
Right, but
I don't even know about that. I honestly don't even know if people are ready to go there.
Yeah, I don't. I think it's really weird how quickly fans turn the page on being hyper focused on production from 2C, And the only way I can explain it is you got 25 points in 16 games. So that will work.
Well,
Yeah.
they've found a mix that works, and
Yeah.
that is the point. With Middlestat, the second line was a sieve. With
I still
Nelson,
think it's the continuation of the same problem. I mean, when the whole team's at 60% Corsi, you really can't say, you're doing great. You're over 50.
Yeah.
He's still in the back of the pack.
I do think Ezra's point is
still
that like
disagree
you're
with it.
not giving up what you were, at least
Yeah.
at a minimum.
I definitely think it's a continuation of this second line black hole.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's something to it. And it's not just Nelson or
Personnel.
Middlestat or whoever
Yeah.
in particular. It's also a second line problem.
Mm-hmm.
it's
Well,
usage, but yeah,
It's
anyway,
usage. Yeah.
we don't have to do this.
We'll save that one for the next edition, the 120th edition of the Mile High Hockey Lab, which I've already used the title Full Nelson, so I can't do that one. But hopefully he just goes off and we got to find a Nelson themed title for episode 120. And then we can have this conversation right off the rip. But I do want to thank all three of you, Ezra Parter, Jackie K, Brendan Vogt, for joining the program today. I really appreciate you all. This is, like I mentioned, our 119th edition. There are about 800 of you tuned in live right now. Thank you so much for choosing us for your pregame content, as the Avs will drop the puck in about 2.5 hours in Colorado on Hockey Fights Cancer Night, by the way. So, folks, if you know anybody, I'm sure you do, who's been affected by cancer, our heart goes out to you folks. And, of course, we would like to give a little nod and a wink to our boy Maxie, as I'm sure the Avalanche will give an honor to him as well as some other folks who've been affected by cancer. So I don't know if you guys saw this too. Singleton for the Broncos, he found out he had cancer, testicular cancer, on Monday, played a football game, beat the Raiders on Thursday, and then had surgery to remove or whatever the next day. So let that be your lesson. Go get screened, do whatever you need to do to make sure that you're in the clear, folks. Just know that us over here at the Mile High Hockey Lab, we got your back. And Brendan, of course, heart goes out to you as well. I know that you've been directly affected and just want you to know that I love you, brother. Folks, I hope that the Avalanche can secure a victory. We get some dings next week, and we can bring Evan back and kind of virtually throw things at him for missing this episode and not giving us a bold prediction right after earning a ding. What a butt. But I hope you folks have a great night. On behalf of my esteemed colleagues, Ezra Parter, Jackie K, and Brendan Vogt, my name is Adrian Hernandez. And until next time, go Avs.
Thank you for tuning into the Mile High Hockey Lab.